Just into our newsroom, a man dies days after a domestic violence incident sent him and a woman to the hospital. This was near South 43rd and Francis Streets. 6 News broke the story right around this time on Wednesday night. Omaha police believe Rafael Crespo was holding a woman against her will in an office building closet. Police heard gunfire and screaming coming from the closet. Officers opened the closet and fired their guns.
The woman was rescued and her injuries are not considered life-threatening. We don't know yet, though, if he died from a self-inflicted gunshot or from the officer's gunfire. Police say an autopsy will be conducted.